Hello everyone, welcome to a video on the Rover. Now today I'm going to talk about everything which is wrong with this car. I'm going to start with the outside. So the other day when I went to go and pick up the lawnmower, the sat-nav sent me down a country lane. Now unfortunately the car is filthy, as you can probably tell, it's covered in mud, but it sent me down a country lane and yeah, I had to turn around and hit a rock and damaged that side of the sill from 3/4 of the way. Actually no, it's halfway along the passenger front door all the way to the back, so that needs to be fixed. We'll go bodywork wise. So that's the first thing wrong. The second thing wrong is that corner of the front bumper delaminating. It's got scratches and scrapes, so that's not wonderful. The grille is broken and I'll get to that shortly. Underneath the bumper, the foam is missing on that side, and the crash structure bar is dented at that corner, so at some point in its life it has had a clang. That light there is dark plastic, whereas that light there is shiny plastic, but that was due to me because the motor failed on that one. But I do have a set to go in the car. The other problem at the front, the bonnet delaminating quite heavily. It's really poor. So I'm no good at spraying something this big, so it'd basically be a complete swap for another bonnet. Let's move to the back of the car. Mirrors are okay, even though they make weird noises when you open them. This door here has got a dent across the top of the wing into the door, but that was there before I got the car. I'm not overly worried about that one. Around the back of the car, this tail light has got a crack in it, but that was my fault. And the seal lets water in. I did clean up the seal and change it, but it's still doing it. And where those wires go in, all the connectors are corroded. So every now and again the lights have a bit of an episode and they don't work properly, even though they do. And the dashboard tells you you've got a light bulb out and you haven't. The sensors might need a good look at, but other than that, the back end isn't quite so bad. This needs an absolutely good clean. I might get it in for a valet at some point, but I would like to try and get this car back to respectable condition. Back to the front of the car, and this wheel on the inside has a dent, and that was my fault purely. I came out of a junction, and as I came out of the junction I misjudged the curb on the left hand side of the road and hit it with a bit of a thunk, so that was completely down to me. Some of the things I have done to this car, one of them was changing these indicator side repeaters for the facelift version. Washer jets are okay. These doors are okay. The lock mechanism on the door with the fob doesn't work. Can't figure out why. I don't know. Someone can point me in the right direction for that. That would be lovely. Right, let's go on to the inside. We'll start at the back. If I unlock the door, that really helps. I haven't done a video on this car for a while, so right, okay, excuse the board, that's for the back door of the Cortina. Missing trim along here, as you can see, so that needs to be sorted out. The bench seat doesn't sit down properly. The fuel gauge in the fuel tank, I know I've been told that there's a sensor on that side as well as this side, because it's like a saddle fuel tank. So I had problems with it yesterday. Other than that, the only other problems back here is these come away from the back seats. Sorry, these come away from the back seats. Apart from that, at the back, that's fine. The drinks holder at the back is still working perfectly well since the video I did when I repaired it, so that's good. So I can't complain there. There's no leakage from the rear window, which is good. So we'll go inside the car now. and we'll go to the back to the bonnet after we've finished off in here. So, the things that are wrong in here. Now, as some of you may or may not know, the Rover 75 had a CD changer in the boot, or it had one in the glove box. Now, mine is in the glove box, which actually it's not, because I took it out. The cartridge, if you fill it full of CDs, you push it in, and it just goes, and then just stops working. So the mechanism in here isn't doing anything, so I can't play CDs. So all I can play is cassettes. And I have one in there at the moment, which is Depeche Mode. Very good album, that one. I like it, it's good. And that won't go back in because the power's off. The other thing in here, that visor, if you bring it down, the cover's missing off of there, and if you take that off to say cover the side, it completely drops out. So that's broken, so that needs to be fixed. But if you leave it where it is and you don't pull it down, you're okay. So, I mean, it stays in position, it's got no issue there at all. So that's fine. The other problem I have with this car, I've grab the keys and put them in the ignition. It would have been good if I'd done that prior to starting this video. I turn it on, and there you go. It's got a completely messed up digital screen. So I can't tell how many miles I've got. There we go, the brakes, apparently the lights have failed when they haven't. So no idea what's going on with that. All I did was take the cover off just now and close it. So I haven't done anything with those lights at the back. So yeah, that's that. Turn that off. Oh yes, and the fuel gauge as well. That fuel gauge, as I was saying about the fuel thingies in the boot, I went for a drive yesterday, it went down to quarter of a tank. It was quarter of a tank when I parked the car. When I started the car, it was down here, and the red light was on. And as I was driving back to the petrol station, or diesel station in this case, it started going back up again. So it didn't get quite to a quarter of a tank, so then I filled it with £20 worth of diesel, and then it slowly went back up. So that's a problem. So it's not the best in the world. But the other thing I will show you, which regarding the grille, which I'm going to do later on. Oh yeah, and the brake sensor is playing up as well. See, now the light of warning has gone out. So yeah, and sometimes when you turn the car on, it says error where it says miles. So yeah, 164,637 miles in this car. It's not too bad, and the engine's still good. So let's turn all that off. I can't see anything else being wrong in here, other than sometimes these get stuck. But they're all like that. All these cup holders are exactly the same. They don't want to come out, and then they do want to come out. It's weird. Now that doesn't want to stay. There we go. Apart from that, I mean, the handbrake needs adjustment every now and again. I did have some problems with the seat a little while ago where the airbag light would come on, but that's been sorted out, so I don't need to worry about that. So let's have a look under the bonnet. I've already pulled the lever, so that's good. So let's get out the car and have a look under the bonnet and see what it is I'm going to be changing. Because I do like to fix stuff every now and again, which is nice. Okay. Right. You probably saw Tom Mitchell's video where he was working on his engine. Changing the oil filler cap is a good idea. And I like the idea of changing that to black as well. But can I find one of those for love nor money? No. Right, so okay, this is the issue here. Now, when you pull the hook in the cabin, it basically releases the bonnet with that hole there and that hole there, which then means you can come around to the front, pull the lever. But the problem is this one falls down, hits the radiator fan and goes brrrr. And because someone maybe with a bigger hand couldn't get in there to reach it, this is broken. So what I'm going to do I'm going to get this grill off, instead just that one there and that one there. Oh yeah, and that does that, which is weird. It's got a mind of its own. That's 2 10mm bolts, I think they are. They could be 8. Once I've got this off, there's a shroud in behind here. That needs to come off as well. It's a plastic shroud, so that needs to come off. And then I can get to this mechanism in here, undo these 2 bolts, and this should drop out, and then I can fit the new one straight up, bolt it in, and then put everything back. And there is a lever up here, so that side or that side, I can never remember which one. So when you pop the bonnet, all you need to do is put your fingers up underneath the bonnet, pull it, and away you go, and you don't have to worry about this grill anymore. So I need a replacement grill. Anyway, that is all for this video. There's quite a few things which I need to sort out on this car, of course, but hang on. Yeah, she did pass her MOT, so that's fine. But it does have lots of things that need to be done to sort it out to get it to good, because when I actually accidentally damaged the rocker, it really put a downer on my day, and I kind of lost a bit of love with this car, so I need to bring it back. So yeah, thank you for watching this little video on Connie. It's not massively long, but it's just an update on what needs doing. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to buy some merch, then I'll put the link in the description. If you want to help donate to the channel to get parts for either this car, the bikes, the Cortina, you're more than welcome, but you don't have to, of course. There's no obligation. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Very kind of you to stick with me until the end of the video. And yeah, I'll see you soon.